Hello viewers, you are watching my YouTube channel. I am Manoj Kumar Ekka. Today I will discuss with you Act 2 Scene 2. I have divided this scene into two parts and today we shall discuss the first part of the scene. This scene is divided actually into three sections, and the first section which we are going to discuss is dominated by the antics of Lancelot Gobbo, Shylock's servant. In the beginning, he is found debating with his own conscience whether he should leave Shylock's household and take up service with Bassanio. And ultimately, he decides to leave Jew's service. Means he was a servant in Shylock's house, so he wants to leave him. And exhibiting his racial prejudice and his false expectations of Bassanio's wealth. He teases his poor father, taking advantage of his blindness, and urges him to plead to Bassanio to employ him. Now see the text. As the scene is taking place in Venice, a street, enters the Lancelot. Lancelot speak. Certainly my conscience will serve me to run from this Jew my master. The Fade is a devil, is at mine elbow and tempts me, saying to me, Gobbo, Lancelot Gobbo, good Lancelot, or good Gobbo, or good Lancelot Gobbo, use your legs, take the start, run away. So it means that certainly my conscience is telling me to run away from the service of my master, Shylock, who is a miser Jew. I am feeling to see him having stood behind me. I think he is a devil who is compelling me to flee away, as if he is telling me in the conscience, Gobbo, always not Gobbo. Use your legs and take a start to run away. The next line. My conscience says, no, take heed, honest Lancelot, take heed, honest Gobbo, or as aforesaid, honest Lancelot Gobbo, do not run, scorn running with thy heels. So he says that on the other side of my conscience is telling me, no, no Gobbo, prepare to take heed, means listen, honest, as it is said before, honest Lancelot Gobbo, do not run away. You try to dislike or scorn the running away with your heels. The next line. Well, the most courageous fiend bids me back. Via, says the Fade, away, says the Fade, for the heavens rouse up a brave mind, says the Fade, and run. Well, my conscience hanging about the neck of my heart says very wisely to me, my honest friend Lancelot, being an honest man's son, or rather an honest woman's son. Well, my conscience says, Lancelot, budge not, budge, says the Fade. So it says that, but well, this the devil Jew who has a lot of courage and is compelling me not to stay here more than a minute, but he is telling me to pack me up and to run away as soon as possible. This devil is telling me to pack up my brave. Oh, but by heaven, he is telling me to hold a stern and brave mind in me, and is telling me to rouse up from my hesitation, and is telling also me to run away. But well, my conscience is hanging about the neck of my heart and is telling me wisely, my honest friend Lancelot, you are an honest son of an honest man, or you are rather an honest son of an honest woman. Next line say, budge not, budge means move not, says my conscience. Conscience say, I, you counsel well. Fade, say, I, you counsel well. To be ruled by my conscience, I should stay with the Jew, my master, who, God bless the mark, is a kind of devil. So here he says that I am feeling two kinds of reaction, okay, but I can tell now the counsel of my conscience and the counsel of the devil are both well. If I have been ruled by my conscience, I should have to stay with my present master, the devil Jew. Oh God, save me from the devil advices. I know certainly the Jew is a very kind of devil himself, but I do not want to make any disrespect to anyone else. The next line. And to run away from the Jew, I should be ruled by the fate, who, saving your reverence, is the devil himself. Certainly the Jew is the very devil incarnation, and in my conscience is but a kind of hard conscience, to offer to counsel me to stay with the Jew. The fate gives the more friendly counsel. I will run, friend, my heels are at your command, I will run. So he says that I think the Jew is a devil with human flesh. I guess so far as my conscience is very hard to tell me, staying in the present service of the Jew. But on the other hand, the devil Jew who is telling me to run away without any delay. And I think it would be better to accept the devil's advice, which is being offered by my conscience also. I am quite in dilemma which one to choose. That one he says. Then he says it will be better that I rather follow the devil's will to run away from here. And I think the Jew may be the devil himself, but his counsel is friendly indeed. So now finally he has decided that I have been sure that I should run away from here. So this paragraph we saw that how there was a conflict within himself. Okay, Lancelot is fighting inside, talking to himself what he should decide, whether he should run away from Jews, okay, that he has been working for many years, or he should remain working there. And these are the different reasons that he is giving and talking to himself. And finally we find that he decides to leave the service of Jews. Then there is entry of old Gobbo with a basket, the father of Lancelot Gobbo. Then Gobbo speaks. Master, young man, you, I pray you, which is the way to Master Jews? So he asked, oh master, young man, I have to pray to you. Can you tell me the way to Master's Jew's house? That means Shylock's house. Then Lancelot speaks. Oh heavens, this is my true begotten father, who being more than sand blind, high gravel blind, knows me not. I will try confusions with him. So he speaks to himself that, oh God, it is my father only father. He is sand blind, that he has been blind, and he has been highly gravel or stone blind. So he cannot recognize me. So I will try to confuse him. That's what he says. Then old Gobbo speaks. Master, young gentleman, I pray you, which is the way to Master Jews? So again he asks and says that where is the way to Shylock's house? Then Lancelot speaks. Turn up on your right hand at the next turning, but at the next turning of all on your left. Marry at the very next turning. Turn off no hand, but turn down indirectly to the Jew's house. So this is how he confuses him. He turn left, first right, and then go to left, turn left, and on an oath in the name of Virgin Mary, that then at very next turning you shall turn to neither hand. So these are the confusion words that he uses. Then Gobbo speaks. My God's stonies, 'twill be a hard way to hit. Can you tell me whether one Lancelot that dwells with him or no? So he asks that, oh my God, I am sure that this way that you told me is very hard for me to find out. Well, oh dear young man, can you tell me whether Lancelot by name is living with the Jew? Even can you tell me if he is here or not? Then Lancelot speaks. Talk you of young Master Lancelot? Mark me now. Now will I raise the waters. Talk you of young Master Lancelot. So he said, oh, are you waiting to know about Master Lancelot? But oh God, I have to mark saying that I am telling to my father, I am Master Lancelot. Oh God, I am to feel that tears will come down from my eyes. Oh well, you are asking me about Master Lancelot Gobbo. So he is quite taken up by listening from his father's mouth, calling him master, and that's why he says. Then Gobbo speaks. No master, sir, but a poor man's son. His father, though I say it, is an honest exceeding poor man, and God be thanked, well to live. So he said, no, 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 he is not a master. He is a son of a poor man. But his father is an honest man, yet his father is extremely poor man. Believe me, young man, I am not praising myself, but his father actually a poor, honest man. But I have to thank God. By his kind grace, he has been able to live long. Then Lancelot speaks, well, let his fathers be what will. We talk of young master Lancelot. So he said, well, whatever his father has been, that doesn't matter, but we have to talk of young master Lancelot. So he wants to see his name before his name, master. That's why he's trying to emphasize. And then Gobbo speaks, your worship's friend and Lancelot, sir. He says, well, yes, sir, I think Lancelot is your very good friend whom you worship much. Then Lancelot speaks, but I pray you, ergo, old man, ergo, I beseech you, talk you of young master Lancelot. So ergo means Latin word, that is, for that it means therefore. Okay. So he says that, oh, therefore you are telling about Master Lancelot. Old man, therefore you are talking of Master Lancelot. I pray to you to talk of the young Master Lancelot. So he wants to hear about himself, like master. Then Gobbo speaks, oh Lancelot, and please your mastership. So he says, oh no, sir, if it can please you, I will tell you that we are to talk about a simple Lancelot. Then Lancelot speaks, ergo, Master Lancelot, talk not of Master Lancelot, father, for the young gentleman, according to fates and destinies, and such odd say, the sisters three, and such branches of learning, is indeed deceased, or as you would say in plain terms, gone to heaven. So Lancelot says that therefore my master Lancelot, whom I have to mention the very name, O father, do not talk of Master Lancelot, who is a good young gentleman, is indeed deceased. That is, he is already dead, as you would say in your plain terms, that he has gone to heaven, because according to the fates, destinies, and such odd saying, there is such similar mysterious powers, the three sisters of Greek mythology, to control human destiny, and in such similar branches of learning, he is dead. O old man, he has gone to heaven. So finally he stops playing fool with his father and reveals himself that he is his son, and forget about that Master Lancelot, who is already dead. That means to say that all the fools that were playing with you, gone, forget about it. Then Gobbo speaks, Mary, God forbid, the boy was the very staff of my age, my very pop. So he said, oh, by Virgin Mary, as if the God forbid it. So the old man is telling, he's thinking that really he is dead. He's not understanding still that it is his son only. He's telling to all the fool he was playing. And he's really thinking that his son is dead. And he's trying to mourn over it, trying to feel sad and sorry that he was my only who used to take care of me, my only staff. Means because of him I would live. Now what is the use of living? Like that he is thinking. He is really thinking that his son is dead. Then Lancelot speaks, do I look like a cudgel or a hovel post, a staff or a prop? Do you know me, father? So cudgel means a short thick stick used as a support, and hovel post means main timber supporting a poor dwelling. So here he means that, oh, do I look like a cudgel or a main timber supporting for a poor dwelling old man, or a staff or a prop? Well, are you recognizing me, father? He asks. Then Gobbo speaks, alack, the day! I know you not, young gentleman, but I pray you, tell me, is my boy, God rest his soul, alive or dead? So still now he is in that mood, only saying that his son is dead, and that's so he says, oh alas God, I think it may be a day of sorrow, as I cannot recognize you. So he is not able to recognize his own son, a young gentleman, but I pray to you, tell me whether my boy, my son is alive or dead. So he is praying for the repose of his son's soul. Then Lancelot speaks, "Do you not know me, father? So don't you recognize me, my dear father?" Then Gobbo, "Alack, sir, I am sand blind. I know you not." He said, "But I am sorry, sir. I am half blind, so I cannot recognize you." Then Lancelot split, "Nay, indeed, if you had your eyes, you might fail of the knowing me. It is a wise father that knows his own child. Well, old man, I will tell you news of your son. Give me your blessing." Then he kneels. "Truth will come to light. Murder cannot be hid long. A man's son may, but in the end, truth will out." So Lancelot says that, "Oh, may not indeed, father. If you had your eyes, you might fail to recognize me. I think he who is a wise father can recognize his own son. Well, my father, I will tell the news of your son. I pray to you your good blessings. Wait, father, I am telling you the truth will come soon to light, because no murder can be hidden long. I want to say a man's son may remain in secret, but in the end the truth will come out to be known." Then Gobbo speaks, "Pray you, sir, stand up. I am sure you are not Lancelot, my boy." So old Gobbo said, well, you are requested to stand up. I am sure that you are not my son Lancelot." Then Lancelot speaks, "Pray you, let's have no more fooling about it, but give me your blessing. I am Lancelot, your boy that was, your son that is, your child that shall be." So now Lancelot is also feeling that my father is also trying to fool me or what, and that's so he says, "Oh father, I pray you that I am waiting to bring an end to this befooling incident, but I pray your blessing, father. I am telling you surely that I am your son, your only son Lancelot, and I am telling you I will have to be your son forever, father." Then Gobbo speaks, "I cannot think you are my son." Then Lancelot, "I know not what I shall think of that, but I am Lancelot the Jews man, and I am sure Margery your wife is my mother." So when Gobbo says that I don't know that you are my son, then Lancelot said, "I do not understand how I will convince you that I am your son Lancelot, but you must be sure that I am Lancelot, the servant of the Jew Shylock. And I tell you that your wife, that is Margery, is my mother." Then Gobbo speaks, "Her name is Margery indeed. I'll be sworn, if thou be Lancelot, thou art my own flesh and blood. Lord, worshipped might he be. What a beard hast thou got! Thou hast got more hair on thy chin than Dobbin my field horse has on his tail." So Gobbo says that I confess that Margery is my wife, but I can take my oath that if you are Lancelot my son, who is owing my own flesh and blood, in this respect I pray to God as if he grant me to find out my son. How a beard you have had! How you have had more hairs on your chin than my cart horse Dobbin, which has hairs on his tail." So he wants to check all the hairs. Then Lancelot speaks, "It should seem then that Dobbin's tail grows backward. I am sure he had more hair of this tail than I have of my face when I last saw him." So Lancelot said, "But it seems that Dobbin's tail has grown less. I can tell you that I am sure our Dobbin had more hairs on his tail when it was seen by me last than I have had now on my face." Then Gobbo speaks, "Lord, how art thou changed? How dost thou and thy master agree? I have brought him a present. How grieve you now?" So he says that, "My God, how you are changed now. I cannot guess at all how do you and your master get on altogether. I have brought for him a present. Tell me now how you are agreeing with." Then Lancelot speaks, well, but for mine own part, as I have set up my rest to run away, so I will not rest till I have run some ground. So he says that very well. As far as I on my own ground, I'm very aware of, because I have set my decision, I have taken my decision that I must run away from my master's house, the house of the Jew. So I will not rest until I am running some distances from the Jew's house. Then you see the next line. My master's a very Jew. Give him a present. Give him a halter. I am famished in his service. You may tell every finger I have with my ribs. Father, I am glad you are come. Give me your present to one master Bassanio, who indeed gives rare new libraries. So he says that, oh father, my master Shylock is a very miser Jew, but you are telling me you have brought a present to give him. But father, I tell you that you give him a rope as if he can hang himself. Do you think I am famished, means I do not get enough food to eat in his service? See me, I have been then, and you have to count easily my every rib with your finger. Oh father, I have been glad as you have come. If you want to give your present, give it to one who is Master Bassanio. He is Master Bassanio who gives his servant costly and attractive liveries. Liveries means uniform. Then continuation of the line. If I serve not him, I will run as far as God has any ground. O raise fortune, here comes the man. To him, Father, for I am a Jew, if I serve the Jew any longer. So he says that if I fail to get a job under his mastership, I will run as far away as God's earth extends the last. Oh, how good fortune for me! The very man is coming towards us, Father. I do not like to stay at the Jew's job any longer. So, Father, go to him. Tell Master Bassanio, ask for him a job for me. But if I serve the Jew any longer, I would have been a Jew as cruel as he is. So here we end the first part of Act 2, Scene 2. And later I shall meet you in the second part. Till then, have a good day. Thank you very much. God bless you.